Hi, my name is Jim Foster from Rosilla Reviews, and today we are reviewing Saboteur. This game came out 10 years ago. It's in 29 different languages and published by multiple companies. My version is from Z-Man Games. Unlike most games that run out after a printing run or two, this one is actually growing in sales from year to year. Last year it had 200,000 sales. It plays from 3 to 10 players, which is very unusual. You don't see too many card games with 10 players. It takes about 30 minutes to play and recommended for ages 8 and up. So you start off with a game board like this. There are 7 spaces between the gold side cards and this ladder where you're entering the cave. Under the gold side cards, you randomly put them in, and you don't know which one has a gold nugget and which one they're blank. We're going to go ahead and take a look. So over here is the gold nugget. These are blanks. There's nothing there. No gold nuggets. So in the beginning of the game, you don't know where the gold nugget's at. And so you're trying to build a path to the gold nugget. And you find out, as you get here and you flip over the gold nugget, you find out, whoops, it's the wrong one. You basically need to build over to a different gold nugget. Now the game starts off with a variety of mining dwarfs, who their goal is to get the gold nugget, and saboteurs. And the number of saboteurs and dwarfs depends on the number of players you have. As I mentioned, you can go 3 to 10. Let's say there's 4 players. There would be 4 dwarfs and 1 saboteur. So it could turn out that in a 4-player game, all 4 players are regular dwarfs, and they're looking around each other trying to figure out who the saboteur, and there's no saboteur. Or there could be 1 saboteur in there. Since there's 5 cards, you really don't know how many there are. What I found is even though this plays up to 10 players, my preference is between 6 and 8. Seems like that's the right about number, but 4 is still not bad. So at the very beginning, you take out the appropriate number of cards that you need for the number of players there are, and you randomly hand them out to folks, and one's left over, and you just discard it without looking at it. If somebody has a card that looks like this, then they are a normal mining dwarf, and their goal is to get to the gold nugget, creating a path. If they happen to have a card that has Saboteur on the top, their goal is to prevent the other dwarfs from getting to the gold nugget. And they'll do this through a couple different means. They'll either create roadblocks within the path, or they'll break the regular dwarf's equipment. So in the beginning, for the normal dwarfs, they'll play cards like this that help extend the path. Now what's typical is a saboteur, when he's first starting to learn the game, they too often play a dead end. And as you can see now, it's a dead end. So in order to get around this, the normal dwarfs will have to build off to the sides to get over to the gold nuggets. For this dead end, as soon as the saboteur plays that, the other dwarfs know immediately that he's the saboteur. That's not a good thing, just because they can start playing these cards that break the equipment. For example, this game right here breaks the card, or breaks the lantern. And once you have some broken equipment, you can no longer play on the path. Whether it's saboteur or dwarf, doesn't matter. You can no longer play on the path until you fix your equipment. And let's go ahead and fix the card. So I have a card here, and as you can see, this one's red with a slash through it. This is green. And on the green, it actually can fix 2 types of equipment. It can fix a broken lantern, or it can fix a card. However, it can't fix both of them at the same time. So if I have a lantern and a card here, I have to pick which one I want to fix, and these go away. Now I still have a broken lantern, so until I fix that, I still can't play on the path. Now there's another type of card that helps me remove a piece of pathway, and it looks like this. Now normal dwarfs, they can use this to remove this dead end card. Or let's say I'm the Saboteur, I can use this card to now create a break into the path. And if there's a break in the path, the normal dwarfs will need to fix the path before they can use that path to get to the gold nugget. So as the dwarves get to the gold nugget, they get to flip over that card. And as they see, oh no, the card does not have the gold nugget, which means that they're going to have to try to go over to a different one to see where it's at. Now there are some cards that have a map. And with a map, this allows a player to take a peek at one of the gold cards. And they are not able to tell the other players what they see. So for example, let's say he picks this card and he peeks at it, puts back, and can't tell whether he sees their gold or not. But he knows what it is. And if you're a normal dwarf, pretty soon you can kind of guess, what he's seen just based on how he starts playing his path cards. If all of a sudden he's trying to build up a path over to this, he saw gold. Or if he starts to go over here, then chances are, he's probably didn't see any gold. Now when you're playing with younger children, it's pretty easy to tell whether they got gold or not just based on their body language. They get kind of excited when they flip it over, they see the gold nugget, and it's kind of easy to tell. So as I mentioned, a Saboteur, if he tips his hand and shows that he's Saboteur too early, it's pretty easy to start breaking his equipment and making life tough for him. So as you get a little bit more advanced, what you typically want to do is you actually help the regular dwarves build the path. And then when you get to the opportune moment, that's when you start making life hard. That's when you go ahead and start throwing up the dead ends. You just go ahead and start destroying parts of the path. You start breaking the other dwarfs' equipment. And because they were almost out of cards, and all these things are in there, they typically can't, if you've timed it right, they typically can't recover in time in order to get to the gold nugget. So it's a timing issue. The other thing that's kind of fun is, let's say another player has some path cards, and they really are a normal dwarf. However, because of the path cards that just happen to be in their hand, they play something that looks like it's not really that helpful. It's kind of fun as a Saboteur to call it out and like, oh my gosh, you're the Saboteur, and try to make it look like they're the Saboteur. And typically people are doing that anyway. So if you play that right, pretty soon the other players, if they're convinced, will actually think that person is the Saboteur. And that the guy who says he's who we're accusing, he can't say whether he is or isn't, just because you have to keep it quiet. So if you do it right, pretty soon the other players are starting to break that poor guy's equipment, and he can't do anything, and little do they know he's a normal dwarf. And as a Saboteur, that's really helpful just because that's one less person that's helping to build up the path. We play this game a lot with friends and family as they come over. It's enjoyable just because it can play from 3 to 10 players, which is a high variety, and it's an easy game. You don't have to keep constantly looking up a reference book to see about special rules and stuff. Once you know the game, it's pretty easy. Yet it's fun just because all of a sudden you can have some fun throwing around accusations. Sometimes it's kind of fun when there is no Saboteur and yet everyone's accusing folks, and you get a lot of paranoia going. We play this game on a regular basis and I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching.